What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to be talking about whether or not Kevin Durant should join LeBron James. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Would joining LeBron be the worst move he could make?
I think it would be. My personal opinion is that it would be, but it has nothing to do with basketball in terms of where they win. I think Kevin Durant and LeBron James could deliver championships. I'm saying it would be the worst thing for Kevin Durant because why would you be leaving Golden State? Because you want to establish your name, reputation, cachet, have your own franchise. You gave that up when you departed for Oklahoma City. The belief is you're now considering leaving Golden State because you want to create your own path. That is and will forever be Steph Curry's territory. He's the Derek Jeter of the Bay Area and of the Warriors organization, and you're the equivalent of an Alex Rodriguez to some degree, because as great as you may be, you'll never be Steph Curry to Alex Rodriguez's Derek Jeter.
So for one thing, Kevin Durant should not leave Golden State until absolutely necessary. So he's looking at probably winning a third ring this year, and he could possibly get a third Finals MVP. So he should keep rolling with Golden State until they lose. Then maybe he should look at going someplace else, for one. For two, I would not go play with LeBron James, because LeBron is still chasing rings, and he's still trying to beat Jordan in the ring hunt. So LeBron only has 3. Kevin Durant can get his third. If Kevin Durant were to go play with LeBron James, at the very most, they'll be tied. It'll be 4-4. And that's what LeBron wants, to get the other one. Kevin Durant should stay by himself, stay away from LeBron, and get more rings than LeBron. Because people are already saying Kevin Durant's better than LeBron James right now. So if Kevin Durant goes and gets a 4th ring and goes above LeBron, that's going to look very bad for LeBron. Very bad for LeBron. And LeBron's on his way out. Kevin Durant is still climbing. So let's keep going.
Oh, Alex Rodriguez was better. The reality is that you have that as your backdrop. So if you're going to leave from there, why go to a similar situation? I know it's not joining LeBron Max in Cleveland per se, but you're still joining LeBron. And if you were to go there, you wouldn't eclipse him, because if you win the championship this year, you'll have 3 just like he does. Together, y'all will have the same amount. There will be nothing about you that stood out above the crowd. It would be attached to him, just like to some degree it's attached to Steph Curry. And that, to me, defeats the purpose of leaving Golden State to begin with. So my attitude is either stay in Golden State or go to a place that's yours, that belongs to you, as to some place that belongs to somebody else.
So it's going to be very hard for Kevin Durant to go someplace and start from scratch and build up. That's going to take years in order to do that, most likely. So some people are talking about him possibly going to the Knicks, maybe joining up with Kyrie, and maybe they might get Zion Williamson, but that's going to be very hard to do. But if anybody can do it, I guess Kevin Durant could, because he's young enough and he has enough rings stashed away that he has enough time to go someplace else and build up a team that'll be his. But that's going to be kind of hard, because Kevin Durant's not really the alpha male type leader. I think he needs somebody else there to play with him and to be the leader type guy. So I don't think Kevin Durant will ever go to a place where it's specifically his and he's the man and he's running the show. I think he plays second fiddle. I think he plays a perfect role player, if you will. So I don't think Kevin Durant will ever go any place where he's the man. I don't think that's just not in his personality. So let's keep going.
As well. Would be far from the worst move he could make. Maybe it's not the best, but far from the worst move he could make. Look, the Lakers missed the playoffs. They didn't improve on their record from last year. There's LeBron James. There's a talented young nucleus. Why couldn't they improve? Then suddenly Kevin Durant shows up, and the Warriors don't win the championship, and the Lakers make the playoffs and maybe storm through the playoffs if you have LeBron, KD, an improving nucleus, whoever else they sign. KD gets a ton of credit. Also, yes, he's still,
Now, everybody knows there's no way Kevin Durant would get that much credit for if he goes and play with the Lakers and they win. You know, LeBron, no matter what, LeBron's going to get 95% of the credit when they win a championship. No matter what. No matter what Kevin Durant does, he's going to be looked at as second fiddle and not sharing any of the praise if he wins a championship with LeBron James. On the other hand, what will be even worse is if Kevin Durant does go with the Lakers and they lose, they don't do anything. Do you know how much finger pointing LeBron's going to do at Kevin Durant? Do you know how bad LeBron James is going to throw Kevin Durant under the bus and everybody else? Just look at his past history. When they don't win, LeBron James throws everybody under the bus. And when they win, he gets all the praise. So it's going to be kind of a lose-lose situation for Kevin Durant. If he goes to the Lakers and they lose, he's going to get all the blame, be talked about being traded. LeBron's going to throw him under the bus. And if they win, it'll be, because it was all LeBron. All LeBron needed was just a little bit of help from Kevin Durant. LeBron's the man again. LeBron, he's as good as Jordan. He's getting rings. He's getting closer and closer. All the praise will go to LeBron. So it's a lose-lose situation for Kevin Durant. So let's keep going.
After this year, if he wins a championship, he's just tied with LeBron. But LeBron is significantly older, which means KD can keep going with the Lakers. By the way, the #1 brand and franchise in the history of basketball in the known universe, and you're living in Los Angeles? You're playing in LA? That's a great situation for Kevin Durant. I'll tell you.
That is a great situation, Max, but if they're not winning, it doesn't matter. If Kevin Durant can get if Kevin Durant can walk away with 6 rings from Golden State, that would be better than playing with the Lakers and not winning any type of rings. So the whole stigma of being a Laker only really works if you're winning. And as a matter of fact, if you're a Laker and you're not winning, that's even worse. You'd rather be a Laker and win someplace else than be a Laker and not win. That means you're just not cutting it. So Kevin Durant, again, should stay in Golden State and get as many rings as he can, and then once that boat has sunken, look other places away from LeBron. So let's keep going.
Something else. Now that we're in the era of superstars joining other superstars, we're kind of more used to the feeling. Imagine if back in the day, now that we're past this thing like, oh my God, Bird and Magic could never play together. Well, if that was happening in that era and superstars were joining superstars, wouldn't it have been fun to see Bird and Magic play together? Wouldn't that have been fun to see, right? Like to see the two biggest names on the same team? I think that'd be.
Well, Max, you're acting like that couldn't have happened. That could have happened. But both players, why would either player, Bird or Magic, would have left their team? Why would Magic leave the Lakers with all the history and all the winning that they've done, even before he got there? And why would Larry Bird leave Boston with all the history that they've had there and winning? There's no reason for those two guys to leave. And even if they could have, but they wouldn't. Today, free agents are a little bit more able to move around, and they're just more capable of doing more moving around and more movement for the players than they were back in the 80s and in the 70s. But even still, if they could, why would Magic leave the Lakers and why would Larry Bird leave Boston? Even to team up with each other. They're both in good situations. So let's keep going.
Why would you leave, Max, why would you leave the Splash Brothers in their prime to get a LeBron past his prime? And I thought the whole point is to be the man. Like MSG, he's the man. He already left OKC.
Because you can't ever be the man at MSG because it's dysfunctional. They won't win a championship.
No, you can. He can be the face of the Knicks, New York.
But
you always
ultimately
talk
they
about
won't.
It's the greatest city ever.
KD has to win a championship on a team that's not good. He has to join a team that's not good and win a championship. The Lakers aren't good. If you do that, you actually get credit for bringing the championship.
Max, if LeBron James wasn't with the Lakers, then I can see Kevin Durant going there and possibly building and doing something there. But with LeBron there, that just messes everything up for the chasing rings and him competing with who's better and each other's legacy. Now, if Kevin Durant were to go to the Knicks, he could possibly build something there if they pick up Zion, if Kyrie goes there. That could work better than going to the Lakers no matter what, with LeBron James being there. So let's keep going.
To that town. He will never get credit fully in Golden State, nor does he deserve it, because they set up a situation that's almost unfair. So when I say reverse engineer.
But it would be the same thing if we were to go to the Lakers. If Kevin Durant stays in Golden State and keeps getting more rings, he'll get credit, even though he hopped on the train kind of late. But he would get less credit if he went to the Lakers and played with LeBron and they won. LeBron would get way more of the praise than Kevin Durant would in comparison if he went when winning in Golden State versus Steph Curry. So stay in Golden State, Kevin Durant. Let's keep going.
greatness, it's like, aha, if you win championships, that proves you're great. But it proves you're great because you can deliver it, not because you're the balance of power and you join a 73-win team. He will never get full credit for how great a player he is in Golden State, and you identified why, Stephen A., because he joined that great team. It's why you called it the weakest move, because it is Steph Curry's team. But if you go to the Lakers, who are struggling even though they had LeBron James, you not only play for the best franchise or the biggest franchise in the best place to play, you get credit for delivering chips.
Your comments mean absolutely nothing to me. And the reason why is because you are the person that was on the record, as you just articulated, pointing out how he'd never get the credit because he went and he joined Golden State. I understand the difference that you articulated in terms of the Lakers not being a good team and Golden State being a juggernaut, but the overlying principle for you was that he was joining somebody else's squad. And because of that, he would never fully be appreciated to the degree as if he had stayed in OKC or go someplace else where he is clearly the man. There is nobody to share that with. Those were things that have been according to you for the last 2.5 years. That's what you said.
No, that's mischaracterizing it. My problem is not that it wasn't. That's not my problem. Is not that it wasn't. My problem is not that it wasn't his team. My problem is he joined a team that was already so great that his presence on it meant they couldn't lose. That's my issue.
No, you said it would never be his team.
I think you're confusing you with me.
It would never be his team. Steph Curry would always be there. If he went to LA, LeBron would be there. If he went to New York, he's New York.
Exactly, Stephen Smith. No matter where he goes, LA or stays and Golden State, it's going to be either Curry's team, Steph Curry's team, or it's going to be LeBron James' team. No matter how you look at it. But he'd get more praise if he stayed in Golden State with that squad than if you went and won with LeBron James, because LeBron James would soak up all the praise. All the praise. Now, if Kevin Durant were to go to the Knicks, like I said before, he'd have to rebuild, maybe get a Zion Williamson, maybe Kyrie or Anthony Davis or whoever, maybe Kawhi Leonard, whoever over there. But it's not in Kevin Durant's personality to be the alpha male leader. So it wouldn't really be his team then either, because that's just not in his personality. So he'd need another alpha male takeover type personality to play with him in the Knicks, and still it wouldn't be his team necessarily. So let's keep going.
Even if a Kyrie comes with him, he's
Yes,
New York.
LeBron
That's the prize they're after.
LeBron would be there, but if he is declining, KD would be the best player on the team, and
he's the best player now.
And he would be.
Didn't you say he was better than Steph Curry?
Debatable with Steph Curry right now.
Hold on, did you not say he was better than Steph Curry? Yes or no? Did you not say that?
I have said that in the past.
Okay, you have said that in the past, but let's just take a look at, if you want to say who's better, who went to the finals and won 2 rings and got the past 2 years finals MVPs? Kevin Durant. So I wouldn't care if you can say what you want about Steph Curry, but who got the past 2 years finals MVPs? Kevin Durant. So if I was Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, I'd be like, hey, you can call Steph Curry the best player all you want, but Kevin Durant is the one that's won finals MVP. That's as high and good as it gets in my book. So let's keep going.
But it is a debatable proposition. Steph Curry is correctly considered the engine that drives that team. But if he joins LeBron, he may not only legitimately be the better player by then, and certainly going forward as LeBron ages, but he